Hi, hello, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Shout out to the All Access Patreon members who are seeing this first. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And if you haven't already connected with me on Patreon, it's completely free to join. You'll still get some perks. I'll occasionally drop parts of an album early, or I'll make a video that was previously only accessible to the All Access members, available for everyone. If a video is ever blocked on YouTube, it will be available for free on Patreon. However, if you are interested, there is an All Access membership that gets you early access to all of my content, non-blurred visuals like music videos, requested live performances, and interviews, more weigh in on what I do next, things like that. All of the information will be in the description below. The time has come. We're gonna do the Let God Sort 'Em Out, which is gonna be my introduction to Clipse. So I am very excited. Obviously, I don't have a lot of background here. My Patreon community, they gave me kind of just some overview of background information. Someone sent this video as like a potential good background because it came out prior to the album. Now, granted, the people who were interviewing them had heard the album, so they did talk about some of the songs. So there were some things brought up that I guess you could consider to be a spoiler, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't like a breakdown. It wasn't a review or anything like that. I do know this first song is about their parents, which is just a very interesting way to open an album. I actually really love that as an opening instead of like a closing track. So track 1, The Birds Don't Sing. Oh, and it has John Legend. I don't think I realized that.
Lost in emotion, mama's youngest. Trying to navigate life without my compass. Some experience death and feel numbness, but not me. I felt it all and couldn't function. Seeing you that day, telling you my plans, but I was leaving you that day. It was in God's hands. Yeah, it was at Elon's waiting to get with me. On my way to Texas, that's when Virginia hit me. And I realized in that instant, our last conversation, you was against it. Told you I was going to Turks for Thanksgiving. I heard what I wanted to hear, but didn't listen. You said you told Jean that Bup needed forgiveness. I see you went to Didi's and stuffed both her fridges. You even told Dad you wished y'all never split it. See, you were checking boxes, I was checking my mentions. Saying you was tired but not ready to go. Basically was dying without letting me know. I love you, Med Naj. Hate that he won't remember you. Two things that break my heart is what November's do. And T follows you. Now mind you, Didi calls you, Jean finds you. Was that your vision? Precision. While I'm reminiscing, it all hits different, my listen.
Oh, ouch. Like, I was prepared too. Okay. Lost in emotion, mama's youngest, trying to that line, trying to navigate life without my compass. Some experience death and feel numbness, but not me. I felt it all and couldn't function. God, and reflecting on their last conversations, seeing you that day, telling you my plans, but I was leaving you that day. It was in God's hands. Ye was at Elon's waiting to get with me. I knew they collaborated for quite a while or something along those lines. On my way to Texas, that's when Virginia hit me. I'm assuming that's his mom's name. And I realized in that instant, our last conversation, you was against it. Told you I was going to Turks for Thanksgiving. You said you told Jean that Bup needed forgiveness. I don't know if this is like other parts of their family maybe, or like friends of family. Bup makes me think of like a brother, but that doesn't give me the energy that it's malice. They have their siblings? I could be wrong. Maybe it is about him, Malice. But when I was listening to that interview, there didn't seem like there was any hard feelings or anything about Malice stepping back. And it seemed like Pusha was like very understanding of that. So it didn't give the vibe that there was any hard feelings that would need forgiveness. So that makes me think we're talking about somebody else. I see you went to Didi's and stuffed both her fridges. Don't know who that is. Again, aunt or sister. The mom, I see you went to Didi's and stuffed both her fridges. So it sounds like the mom was doing stuff for that, maybe. You even told Dad you wished y'all never splitted. So I guess their parents were divorced. So you were checking boxes, I was checking. Wait. So was his mom like permanently ill, but she didn't tell anybody? Because it's like, you said you told Jean that Bub needed forgiveness. You went and stuffed both her fridges. It's almost like a preparation thing. You even told Dad that you wish y'all never splitted. You were checking boxes, like getting your ducks in a row. I was checking my mentions. Like I was focused on this while you were basically getting your affairs in order. That's what it sounds like. And then it says, saying you was tired but not ready to go. So maybe he knew that she was like sick, but he didn't realize how close it was, but she did know how close it was, maybe? Basically was dying without letting me know. Part of me feels like I'm understanding it, and then part of me is like, wait, maybe I'm interpreting that wrong. Because it says basically was dying with it. It makes it sound like that wasn't what's actually happening. He's saying that's what it felt like, but then the rest of it kind of did sound. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know. I love that you met Nige. Hate that he won't remember you. Child? I feel like that would make sense of like, you know, I'm glad that you got to see my child, but my child is young enough that he probably won't remember you. I'm assuming that's what that's talking about. I hope I'm saying that right. Nige. I think that's what he said. 2 things that break my heart is what Novembers do. So I'm assuming she passed away in November. I don't think he said anything about anything else. And T follows you, now mind you. Wait, isn't this Pusha who's singing this verse though? It sounded like him. Someone did say in my Patreon community that I might have to look up the lyrics and at least see, because for those of you who maybe haven't watched a video of mine before, I don't like to go on Genius and do annotation. I don't do that until after I post a video and I read some comments and kind of get insights from you guys. I like to just do it as like a little mystery, if you will, and break things down of how I see it and then go into annotations later on. But my Patreon community said you might need to at least look it up to see who's singing, because a lot of times they can sound similar. But I feel like that was Pusha. Oh, yeah, no, it had to have, I think it had to have been, because it was, Ye was waiting with me. Okay, yeah. So that was Pusha. So is he talking about someone else, or is he talking about himself in like third person? Child, junior type situation, you know, so they have like a nickname and T follows you now. I don't know. Maybe his son. No, because his son name's not. Dee Dee calls you. Gene finds you. Okay, because earlier it said you told Gene that Bup needs forgiveness. So who's Bup? So if Gene is someone else, Gene, okay. Okay, you know what? This is gonna drive me nuts. I normally don't look things up, but we're gonna look this up. How many siblings does, oh, only one. Okay, so I don't know who these people are. Okay, so apparently they are the only siblings. Okay, so I don't know who this is. It's not a sibling. Maybe it's like extended family, like an aunt, uncle, cousins, something like that. Maybe. I'm just gonna look up. Who is Dee Dee to Pusha T? Oh. Okay, so Gene is Alice. I don't know. You went to Dee Dee's. Who's Dee Dee? Now I'm in it, so now I feel like I need to know. I can't find anything about Dee Dee. Okay, so I think, at least I know who Gene is. Bup, I don't, you guys let me know. I've spent too much time on this. I'm sorry. I was really fixated on it. Gene finds you. Was that your vision? Precision while I'm reminiscing. It all hits different. Maybe she got these things set up so when she was gone, maybe they would reflect and come together as a family. That's what I'm getting, maybe. Are you fly hunting? The cat is fly hunting. Oof, it all hits different. Okay.
It all hits different, my list. The birds don't sing, the birds don't sing, they screech and play. The birds don't sing, the birds don't sing, they screech and play. The birds don't sing, the birds don't sing, they screech and play.
His voice.
Your car was in the driveway, I knew you were home. By the third knock, a chill ran through my bones. The way you miss mama, I guess I should've known. Chivalry ain't dead, you ain't let her go alone. Found you in the kitchen, scriptures in the den. Half-written text that you never got to send. Combing through your dresser drawer, where do I begin? Posted noted Bible quotes, were you preparing in? I can hear your voice now, I can feel your presence. Asking should I rap again, you gave me your blessing. The way you spelled it out, there's an L in every lesson. Boy, you owe it to the world, let your mess become your message. Shared you with my friends, the pops they never had. You lived for our fishing trips, damn I had a dad. Mine taught discipline, mine taught structure. Mine didn't mind when he had to pull a double. Mine worked overtime, smiled through the struggle. Cause mine wouldn't let us feel what he had to suffer. See, mine made sure he had every base covered. So imagine his pain finding bass in the cupboard. Birds don't sing if the words don't sting. Your last few words in my ears still ring. You told me that you loved me, it was all in your tone. I love my 2 sons was the code to your phone. Now you home. Oh, the birds don't sing, no they don't.
Jeez, I did not think it was going to hit me that hard. Oh, crap. Oh, I did not expect it to hit me that hard, I'm not going to lie. Oof, oof, oof. Your car was in the driveway. I knew you were home by the third knock. A chill ran through my bones. Oh, God, those knowings. that has happened. Hello, cat. That has happened with all of the major deaths I've had in my family. I just knew. Like, I knew before we got the calls. I was like sitting there and I just, But the way you missed Mama, I guess I should have known. Chivalry isn't dead. You ain't let her go alone. That always kills me when that happens, where they'll go like back to back. Ugh. I hate to say it in this way because I'm not trying to lessen it or invalidate it or anything by saying, oh, that's beautiful. But it is beautiful in a sense of explaining it in that way, like chivalry isn't dead. You ain't let her go alone. Found you in the kitchen, scriptures in the den. That's right. He was like a pastor or whatever it was in their denomination. Half-written text that you never got to send, combing through your dresser drawer, where do I begin? Posting noted Bible quotes, were you preparing then? Like, did he like leave messages for them to find, essentially, is what that makes it feel like. I can hear your voice now, I can feel your presence. Should I rap? They do, I will say, the brothers do sound really similar. I hear why my Patreon community was like, you might need to look this up. I get that this is malice, though, because of the should I rap again? You gave me your blessing. The way you spelled it out, there's an L in every lesson. I love that line. Well, you owe it to the world. Let your message, let your mess become your message. Oof. Those two lines, I love that. Shared you with my friends, the pops they never had. You lived for our fishing trips. Damn, I had a dad. Mine taught discipline, mine taught structure. Mine didn't mind when he had to pull a double. Mine worked overtime, smiled through the struggle, because mine wouldn't let us feel what he had to suffer. See, mine made sure he had every base covered. Oh, I didn't even see that it was base and then base as like a different meaning. I didn't even catch the first base. Had every base covered, so imagine his pain finding base in the cupboard. Picked up on that one. Birds don't sing if the words don't sting. Your last few words in my ear still ringing. You told me you loved me. It was all in your tone, like he knew. I love my two sons was the code to your phone. That is a beautiful line. Now you home. Oh my God.
I love my two sons was the code to your phone. Now you home.
Oh, the birds don't sing. No, they don't. The birds don't sing. They screech and bang. Don't the truth ruin it?
Ooh.
When they doing it. The birds don't sing. No, they don't. The birds don't sing. They screech and bang. They don't sing. They just screech and pain. It's a cycle. They do that shit over and over again. The birds don't sing. The birds don't sing, they screech and pain. They screech and pain. The birds don't sing. The birds don't sing, they screech and pain. You'll never come back again.
Ooh.
Remember those who lost their mothers and fathers. And make sure that every single moment that you have with them, you show them love. You show them love. You'll see.
Listen, Fly, you're ruining the moment, okay? I loved the end. You guys know how I feel about outros like that, just adding different layers to it. John Legend's voice is never not going to be iconic. It's just beautiful. I think it was a beautiful way weaving that in, and just the idea of like the birds don't sing, they screech in pain. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ah. I feel like that track already feels like it's setting up the album so well. I love when you have Fang, darling. Now is not the time for the scratch post. Anyways, I love when opening tracks feel like they're really setting a tone, and that's what this feels like. I mean, obviously, I don't know for sure, but I feel like this, I guess my brain's already picturing how this can evolve. Just like the idea of like God sort them out, of being like, this is the headspace in which we're in. Grief has a tendency to just make you, one, like appreciate life, but also what are you spending your energy on? And does it align with how you want to spend your life on this earth? When you're faced with the mortality of the people that you love, you have a tendency to reflect on your own mortality and think about how you're spending your time on this earth and how precious it is and how finite it is. And, I think there's also a level of reflective of not only am I spending energy on the things that I want to, but when you do choose to say things and, making sure that you're doing it for a purpose. I think also, at least in my experience, depending on your relationship with the person that you're grieving or people you're grieving, you have a tendency to think about what would make them proud. For me, when I've lost people, I've been thinking about like, how do I better honor them in my life? Reflecting back on the lessons that they taught me, the things that I learned from observing them throughout my life, and how I want to continue to weave that through my life in honor, in tribute, and in keeping them connected with me in a way. And so I just feel like the idea of like God sort them out, like let people do what they're going to do. I'm going to protect my peace. That's kind of the energy I could see this going into in a way of like, yeah, this stuff is crazy and I'm going to say the things I want to say. And, but I have to think about my time on this earth. Does that make sense? These are just predictions. Who knows where we'll go? But I really loved that track. It was a gut-wrenching, heartbreaking way to open an album, but I appreciate art that I don't need art to be palatable. I'm sure it would be easier for this to be the closing track, but also opening it up I think is more powerful. I mean, granted, I haven't heard the rest of the album, but I just feel like it is a very powerful and what would be the word? I don't want to say the word, it's not informational, but like, there's a better word for this, but like almost like a telling. I think it's very telling of what's to come in a way to start an album like this. I mean, granted, again, only time will tell. Okay, so let me know, what did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did I miss? And we'll pick up in the next one. Bye.